Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Can someone confirm that you can see and hear me, please? Thank you, Jill. All right, let me see here. Should we start with let's start with what energy is coming in this week. Pick a number, 1 or 2. What energy is coming in for you this week? If you pick number 1, trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? So any kind of like uncomfortable feeling, any kind of like burst of energy, what is it trying to push you towards? The 3 different people on the card, it's like there's different versions of yourself helping out the other versions right now. And if you pick number 2, Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, and the divine plan. So figuring out another piece of the puzzle this week. Could be a change in your routine, habit, focus. All right, let's get started. For those who didn't see it, the True Crime deck is available for pre-order. It's pre-order because I made a bunch of changes and I want to make sure that they're all 100% correct before I order the big order. Okay. Let's see. What is causing my extreme fatigue? Should I see a specialist? This is often my parasites card with the moon, and especially combined with this 9 of Wands in reverse, needing to release or like let go of the imbalance being caused by that. I would say looking into a heavy metal detox, parasite cleanse, because it feels like it's something about your sleep. Like maybe you're not getting into a deep state of sleep like you need to be. Maybe you're not, it could even be like affecting breathing during sleep or something. It feels like you're not getting the rest from the sleep that you're sleeping, but not getting rested from the sleep. And it feels like it's an imbalance stemming from, I just want to say like a toxic load of something, like needing to restore the internal balance. If a specialist, I would say you'd be looking into some kind of specialist that can tell you, I guess, like a sleep study, because it feels like you're not getting the depth of sleep that you need to be getting when you are sleeping. Message from a loved one who, yes. A male energy, and with the Fool in reverse, I almost want to read this as like, you know exactly who. Wheel of Fortune, 7 of Wands in reverse, 4 of Swords. There's a feeling of defeat that you're in the midst of overcoming because you're shifting your perspective of what steps need to be taken to overcome it. Jewelry. I feel like this is a confirmation to you of who this person is, this King of Wands. And pay attention to synchronicities, another piece of jewelry. I almost feel like you're about to find something that you lost as a confirmation of a shifting of perspective being the right shifting of perspective. Like you've shifted a perspective and now you're going to find something that you haven't seen but have been looking for. And it's a confirmation that you made the right perspective shift. Why is my chair making so much noise? Should I play the Queen of Hearts tonight, and will I be successful? Should I play the Queen of Hearts tonight, and will I be successful? Can I get a lucky number from 1 to 56? Should I play the Queen of Hearts tonight? I'm getting not tonight. This is like waiting for divine intervention or divine guidance. Pause, hold. Fulfillment is coming, but it's not here yet. So when you say, should I play the Queen of Hearts tonight? I feel like the answer is you should play it, but not tonight. And it will be successful, but not tonight. A number from 1 to 56. 22. Oh, there's no way you're going to be able to see that. It's 22 is the number. When will a good man come into my life? I'm not going to be able to get a name, but I can get some qualities. I feel like it's going to be a little bit. It feels like right now the person who's going to be coming into your life is dealing with something. This could be career. This could be reestablishing like a foundation. So like moving, switching jobs, something like that. Whoever you are next aligning with needs time. I just want to say to regain their footing. So that they're ready for a commitment. Right now, the other person is still in the midst of wrapping up the last cycle that they were completing. Ooh. In a few months, future is uncertain. So I feel like I was getting in the beginning at least about 9 months to a year. I feel like it's going to be a little while from now. But not because of anything on your end. It feels like the other person is wrapping up whatever was happening previously for themselves. Message from your guides and a song. There's a change that you were previously resisting, but you're going to soon figure out it was in the resistance that you were learning how to release the expectations of other people so that you can step into what you really expect from yourself without the influence of what other people may have expected from you in the past. Yeah, independence here with the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. So you're about to learn what the previous frustration taught you and how you can use that to your benefit. All I Know So Far by Pink is the song. Why am I so hot and cold? Why is M so hot and cold? What does he want from me? M is hesitating to tell you something because he doesn't know how you're going to receive it. You're ready for some kind of serious commitment, or you're ready to really invest your energy in a productive way into this connection. And M isn't there yet. Page of Cups. The connection is more matured in your mind than it is in their mind, and they don't know how to articulate that to you. 5 of Swords, they're very in their head about it. I guess I'd word this as, why is M so hot and cold? Because M feels as though you may be more invested than they are, and they don't know how to communicate that. It's like M wants to offer you something that they themselves don't know if they're ready for. It's like they're trying to convince themselves, I guess I'd say. They're hot and cold because they're trying to see if they're successfully able to convince themselves that they're ready for stepping into a different role. Do I need to buy a laptop for my new venture? Is there someone you could borrow one from? This reads to me like you don't need to buy a new one, but there may be one that you can borrow from someone. Seven of Cups in reverse. To me, in this case, Seven of Cups upright would be like all of these new things that you can choose from. This is like there might be one that could be given to you, not one that you considered yet. Like you haven't thought about asking this person yet, or this hasn't crossed your path yet. Maybe it's even like Facebook Marketplace or something. This to me reads like you could get away with a used or borrowed one, at least at first. It'd be helpful to have one, but it doesn't need to be new, I guess I'd say. Message from Spirit Team and song. There's a need to allow yourself to release either emotions or expectations or something. There's something surrounding an apology that you're not going to likely receive, but you deserve an apology that you're likely not going to receive. And there's a need to take action to either cut that cord or reframe the perspective. Existential despair and fear of failure. Almost like when you think about this certain situation, there's a little bit of a panic because you want closure. So the message is to give yourself the closure. The closure has to come from self in this case. The closure that you can receive from giving yourself the closure will be enough closure. Bare Naked by Jennifer Love Hewitt is the song. What was the reason my cousin M stopped talking to me? So this would be community. This would be the two of you. This would be indifference. Like, I don't want to be seen by the community. Strength in reverse, Nine of Wands in reverse. I'm fearing vulnerability because I'm going through something and I don't feel like I'm holding it together in a way that other people wouldn't be worried about me. This is like quite literally, you see me and I don't want to be seen. Because if you see what's going on that I'm trying to cover, you're going to be worried about me, and I'm not ready to either get help or change or address whatever this is. Some kind of manipulation or deception from a connection that they went through, that they had. So it could be depression from getting mistreated by an ex or something to that effect, or even like a friend stabbing them in the back. Something was affecting them more than they wanted you to see, and they didn't know how to hide it from you. It doesn't feel like it's a you thing, although they may have tried to find something that they could blame on you to cover up for the fact that they don't want to uncover what they don't want to face, if that makes sense. But it doesn't feel like it's a you thing. It's like, I don't want you to see me thing. Was my husband's silver stolen or lost? Stolen, lost. Stolen. Strong-armed when you're not looking. Lost, not committed, connected. I feel lost. I feel not lost. I feel taken, because this would be, I'm strong arming you, or I'm not giving you an option to stop me when you're not looking, or when you're not awake, or otherwise distracted. Five of Pentacles in reverse was my clarifier. That's, I'm trying to repay or alleviate some kind of long-standing debt. Not as in your husband, as in whoever would have taken it from him. Was it, I don't feel lost, because I feel like there's some kind of routine or plan your husband had that, like, I put it here and then it's safe. I feel like it somehow was intercepted or interrupted, whatever his plan was. I feel stolen. Will Brian get his GED in the next 4 months? He is going to get it. Why am I just not all the way confident about 4 months? There's something specific he's worried about, or there's a hurdle to be overcome still. But the final ending ends up good. There's just an obstacle in the middle. I don't know if that obstacle means that there's a delay, but he is going to get it. I'm just not all the way confident on the timing. But I feel like you're saying next 4 months because there'd be like a scheduled, if it doesn't happen now, then you have to wait X amount of time. So I don't see that happening. I do see him getting it June, May, June. June would be next month. So that would be a soon time. I would say I'm leaning towards yes. I'm just not all the way confident in the time frame. Oh, let me get to some of these. When a new manager is hired, will I get a significant raise? I'm not getting a significant raise from a new manager. No, I'm getting, with the High Priestess, almost like a shifting of responsibilities that could potentially lead to a raise, like a trial period, maybe, I guess, because the Star is reversed. So like, I want to see how you perform. Lovers is reversed. I'm not ready to make a choice or decision yet. I'm almost wondering if like new manager hired would mean cuts, but then increase of responsibility and potential raises for those who are not cut. I don't see right away that happening, but I see the potential lining up for an eventual raise after some kind of trial period. Struggle to find housing and direction, roommate or alone. Roommate. Alone. I feel like the path of getting a roommate may lead to some kind of tension or difficulty in which you'll end up going separate ways. I don't know if that's like a breaking of a lease in the middle of a lease, or I don't know if that's like having to put up with someone you wish you weren't putting up with until the end of a lease. With no roommate, I do feel like there is either it would really help to have the roommate to help with bills, or the support of having a roommate, like the not being alone. There's a difficulty with not having a roommate, but there's also a painful ending with a roommate. So it's either going to be like one cycle of the roommate and then going separate ways, or it's going to be breaking of a cycle early with the roommate. So I feel like the better option is no roommate until you find the right roommate. I would say don't rush into the roommate thing. Make sure you're getting the right roommate, or it's going to end bad. Is there a move in the future? Message from my Uncle Robert for me or someone unexpected. Is there a move in the future? I'm not getting confirmation of it. Not that it's not possible, but if you want to do that, it feels like plans need to either like ducks getting in a row, or whatever plans you have now to move will need to be altered in order for it to happen. Because this is reverse. This is like self-exploration in reverse. Queen of Pentacles is reverse. So I'm struggling to find the right place that I can lay a solid foundation. But at the end, I do overcome that struggle. So either you figure out the right place to lay the foundation, or you ultimately decide against moving. You end up being comfortable staying where you're at instead. So one of the two. Message from Uncle Robert. I had to leave that way, and I am here helping you. He knows that it caused you pain. Don't self-sabotage due to avoiding emotions that stem from a lack of closure. Is Eric for me? Been stalking me? Intentions? Should you run? Is Eric for me? Eric may be for you in a way that's like, I want to trap you. I want you to need me, but it's not going to be an even exchange of love. So I want to produce unhealthy codependence. Like I want you to be unhealthily codependent on me. I wouldn't say stalking you in the way that you may think is possible, but I do think that there's keeping tabs on you at the very least. Yeah, there's some kind of, I know something about you that you don't know I know about you, or something that you purposely wanted to keep private. Should you run? Yes, you should run. I mean, not like run like danger, but run like don't put your energy into something that's going to end up being very purposefully imbalanced, because it feels like the other person wants control. Will I have any more children? I would say it's possible. It feels like you are still trying to decide how it would fit in. I do a Page of Cups in reverse on the bottom of the deck, so I would word this as if you decide that that's what you want, I feel like it has the very high likelihood of happening for you. Like you make the decision, you try, and it can come to fruition. But I feel like you are still trying to figure out almost like if you want to go that route or you want to reinvest that time into some kind of career change or lifestyle change. So I would say the ball's kind of really in your court there. But again, I feel like if you decide you want to, it is something that's going to be very possible. Let me go back to this screen. Does my spirit team have a message for me and a song? It's Power. It feels like there's some kind of message that you're waiting for that's not going to come in. And it can either throw you off balance and cause you to shift perspective in a negative way, or you can recognize that the way that other people treat you is more to do with how they feel about themselves and less how they feel about you. 8 of Cups. Yeah, needing to kind of just walk away from this. There's a, I guess I'd word this as there's a message that you're waiting for that start to make yourself okay with what happens if you don't get that message. What happens if you don't get the closure or the clarity in the way that you feel like you need, because you don't need it in the way you think you do. A need to free yourself from it. Rise Up by Andra Day is the song. Why did that just move like that? I'm worried about my son, Ethan. How is he doing? I would say your worries were valid. I feel like he was going through something that now he's coming out the other end of. But you were picking up on something that, like, you had to worry for a reason, and the reason was because you were picking up on something that was accurate. However, I feel like he's going in a better direction now, and while he hasn't necessarily made progress yet, he's facing in the right direction to make progress. I think I'd word this as there's less trouble mentally or emotionally than there was, but there's still a lack of direction. So I'm facing in a better direction, but I don't know where I'm heading yet. And I feel like everything is moving very quickly and I can't necessarily always keep up is the energy. But whatever it was that was like daunting, that feels like it's been solved. So I'm not in the storm anymore, but I don't really know where I'm heading now, is how I'd word that. Is Pilates a good orthotics alternative? I feel like it would be something that would be good for you, because I feel like it's either going to be getting you out of your comfort zone, or it's going to be getting like either you out of your comfort zone or your body out of its comfort zone. So like mobility. And it will start to help you take your power back. But I don't necessarily believe that it's going to completely fix the problem that we're looking to fix with orthotics. So it will be helpful, but it's not going to be the whole full thing that you need. And there may be some either learning curve or frustration that needs to be overcome with it, like feeling like I'm really frustrated about my injury or whatever because feel like I should be better at this. There may be some frustration like that to be overcome. I feel like it would be good, but it's not going to be completely the fix. Like there's that and something else needs to happen. My stepdad is really sick. We are scared we are going to lose him. We know. Okay, well, this was funeral or permanent ending, and it was in reverse. And this was to clarify what I was getting here was I feel like there's going to be a hurdle or frustration or something that pops up that is important to solve immediately, but then I feel like it goes in a better direction. Yeah, see, this even says travel difficulties or a wrong turn. So I'm wondering if some kind of treatment doesn't work, and that's where the frustration is, and you have to figure out a better one in replacement of that. Recovery after illness and a healthy body, but it was in reverse. So yeah, there's something that makes it more difficult, but then there's a solution. I almost wonder with this Four of Wands if there's a need to get a second opinion about something, or like a different specialist to look at. I don't know, like a tunnel visioned in specialist about one part of what he's dealing with. But I would say it feels like there's going to be something that's like a scare of some sort, but then a solution. Is Michael getting any inheritance? I want to lean more towards no. There is the possibility of it happening, but it would be like not what I'm expecting, not what I think it is. I'm expecting money and I get a property or something like that. But I'm leaning more towards no, because Six of Wands is reverse, and that would be the lack of a victory. Is it possible it goes to someone else? Almost like something kind of being changed either last minute or unexpectedly. If he does, I don't think it's going to be what is expected. Will I find love after my divorce? Oh, yes. there's a need to give yourself the time to start to feel comfortable being vulnerable again. There's a certain trigger, it feels like, from the divorce that it would do you well to focus on pouring into yourself to heal that, so that the person you're attracting as a partner is a healed version of themselves too, because we attract what we are. So yes, you are going to find love. Oh, communication, vulnerability when it comes to communication. Allowing yourself to be in healthy flow with your communication when it comes to how your communication is linked to your emotions. So pouring into yourself in that way will help you attract the right partner that also is able to communicate in a healthy way. So I would say that it's probably very likely that your ex did not have healthy communication strategies. So just needing to heal your perspective on yourself when it comes to why that was. Your ex didn't communicate efficiently. That wasn't a your fault thing. So just making sure that your subconscious is not telling you that you're not worthy of being communicated with in a healthy way. Curious about my daughter's health. This to me reads like improvement. The battle is subsiding. I'm freeing myself from something that I was worried about because some kind of choice that I made that is in my favor. Learning to trust myself. I would say with Knight of Pentacles reversed, something is picking up speed or picking up pace. Healing is happening quicker, or the pivot towards healing is happening quicker because of some kind of change. So I would say improvement. Time, qualities of a potential partner, and sign. I feel like earth sign energy would be highly likely here. Someone who eases your mind and makes you want to emotionally engage with them, where you're not second guessing or being very in your head when it comes to communication. So someone who holds space for you to be yourself without overthinking it when it comes to communication, and likely an earth sign. What will be the result if I move forward with surgery in July 2024? So Ace of Wands reversed can be a false start. So I'm wondering if there's going to be some kind of minor complication in healing, because the Hermit's here. So you're going to be okay in terms of like being put back together. Everything will be fine. But with Seven of Wands in reverse as well, almost, I'm wondering if, so you know how when they give you the instructions, they're like, okay, this is a potential thing that could happen that would be a difficulty during healing, and this. It feels like one of those difficulties during healing comes to be. But with the Lovers, I feel like it's the right choice. We have Lovers and Hermit, and that's a 6 and that's a 9. So it's like the yin yang. Take the good with the bad and the bad with the good. I feel like the surgery will be helpful, although there may be some delay or prolonged healing. So whatever healing time frame they give you, if they say blank, like 6 to 12 weeks, expect the 12-week end. Is my gut right that there's some drama brewing with my dad's wife? I no longer stoic with them, my choice. What's going on? I want no drama. Drama brewing with my dad's wife. It feels like one person is breadcrumbing the other person from a very immature perspective, and the other person has become complacent. Like either I'm giving bare minimum and you're accepting it and we're both just frustrated with each other, but it feels like there's immature energy. Brewing with my dad's wife, coming from the wife. I think I'd word this as it's highly likely that he is sick of dealing with the immaturity coming from her, and I change a little bit and then I backtrack. I change and then I backtrack, or I put effort in and then I backtrack, as in her. I would say, yes, your intuition, your gut is correct. What aspect of my spiritual journey needs to have a blockage released? Crown chakra. Crown chakra blockage and unresolved grief. Unresolved grief. 9 of Swords. Yeah, that's what it is. King of Pentacles. Unresolved grief. Unresolved grief surrounding a situation that you thought was going to unfold in like a very stable, grounded way. Something that was going to feel safe that didn't unfold that way. And it reshaped the way you feel about being emotionally safe, I want to say. Crown chakra blockage would then be feeling disconnected from your higher self because of the unresolved grief, making you feel almost like whenever you feel happy, you're waiting for the sadness to hit again. And it's surrounding feeling like there was a higher level of stability that was available that almost like someone else stole from you because it didn't unfold in the way that you wanted it to unfold. So addressing that. Should I ask my boss for a course in project management? That's a weird answer. But I said it in my head and then I got the sun. I would say it like this. It doesn't hurt to ask, although I don't think that they're going to go for it. But I do think that doing that and showing that initiative to want to expand is going to open some other door. So you may ask for the course and not get the course, but you asking for the course, they may increase responsibility in another area that eventually leads to a raise type of thing. Like, so I guess I'd say it doesn't hurt to ask, but you might get something that you didn't ask for in lieu of what you asked for. Feeling a bit stuck. Is stuff going on in the background? Just a need for patience with yourself right now. You're being freed from some kind of wound. You're healing, and in the healing, you're being released. But it's almost like this needs to happen during a period of rest or reintegration. So just needing to be patient with yourself right now. It's like you're waiting for the next clue. You know how like when they're what's that called? A relay race, when you hand the baton, and then that person runs, and then they run it to the next person. It's like right now you're waiting for the baton to be passed to you so that you can run. So there's just a need for patience. Why had my brother always had hatred toward me since I was born? He is still this way today. We have never had a great relationship. Brother. I would word this as either a mother wound or a lack of some part of his psyche that wasn't nurtured in a way that made him feel safe to be himself. It's like, I'm not really who I show other people I am. And anyone who I feel like could pick up on that, I need to create an imbalance in the dynamic of our connection. So you see him for who he really is, and that's not who he wants to be seen as. There's like parts of his shadow that he's not ready to face. It feels like he doesn't feel as though he has the tools to face them. It comes out. Spiritual ego. Spiritual ego and solar plexus chakra. Yeah, spiritual ego. Look how it's a different size piece in the mirror than it is in reality. He doesn't want people to see him for who he is. I have had 4 cardinal birds and 3 butterflies around me the last 2 days. Are they trying to tell me something? This feels like a spirit guide. You're being encouraged to either make that change, solidify that choice, finalize that decision. You're going to keep being trapped on the hamster wheel of thought until you make the final decision or do the final thing. It's like, yeah, it's like I'm trying to communicate to you that the time is now. Like, don't wait any longer. I keep seeing this deck. You've had enough lessons. You've overcome so much. You believed even when it was hard to. You pushed through it all. And now it's your turn to receive in a major way. Oh, you have some kind of, butterflies. Oh, you're okay. So whatever is coming in for you manifestation wise is essentially you getting your wings, but you need to break out of the cocoon first to do that, which requires you to walk away from something or change something. So you make the change and then you get your wings, so to speak. Message from Retina and a song. I know I'm probably saying that wrong. Retina? Retina. Retina. I almost want to word this as there's something that you read that stuck with you recently and you're about to understand why. Almost like it triggered a certain download or it shifted your perspective in a certain way and it hit you, it stuck with you. and you're about to understand why, because it was whatever that was, that thing that stuck with you was preparing you for another message, if that makes sense. Spirit orbs, and I have no more earthly worries. Spirit orbs, preparing you for the message. I have no more earthly worries. It feels like Retina helping you with a shift in perspective by seeing things like from their eyes. Imagine by John Lennon is the song. Does our dog Taquito say why and how he passed? This is my divine authority card. This is walking away from something unfulfilling. This is karma, or like completion of that cycle. This to me reads like it was my time to go. The divine had me walk away and complete my cycle. Yeah, the star, it was my time to go home. 5 of Swords in reverse. Don't worry, everything is as it need it to be. Queen of Swords, I said what I said. Look, they're facing each other. It was time for him to go home. I'm reunited with loving pets. Confirmation. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I feel like the unexpectedness, or just the pain of the passing. I feel like you may have thought you had more time, but he's saying that it was his time. Oh, The Times They Are A-Changin' by Bob Dylan. Hold on one second. I have to answer my son's teacher really quick. Okay. I feel I am being guided away from my corporate job and being told to put in more energy into my Etsy shop. Is this true? I would say yes. It looks like what this is saying is you'll find more fulfillment from shifting your energy in that direction, almost like there's a lid on the potential of your fulfillment with your corporate job, and taking action towards that. I feel like with this 3 of Pentacles, it would be helpful to either start to branch out advertising, or, you know, as you make the decision to take it more seriously or put more energy into that, you'll start to push it more naturally. But I feel like branching out, either social media or incorporating something like that, is going to be very helpful. But I do feel as though Etsy would lead towards more fulfillment, and the potential for it to grow is there as well. Song and message from your guides. What is the next step to heal? Getting clarity about the need to cut some kind of cord, and that can be just your mindset about how you view yourself based from someone's perspective, based off of someone else's perspective. But there's a need to, almost like when you think of this certain past connection, you get either upset or triggered or angry. And that's simply happening to show you that there still is healing needed when it comes to the ending of that connection with the other person. This could be a family wound with the 10 of Pentacles. Needing to see what needs healing and pour into yourself, because it will free you. With this Three of Wands in reverse, it will free you to take action where right now you may be hesitating due to not feeling ready. Was the Sebastian that came through my spirit box Sebastian R or someone else? Sebastian, someone else. Sebastian. So Sebastian, something manifesting, something unseen becoming heard in this case. The Tower in reverse, nothing to fear. Was it someone else? The star would be like another star in the sky. Seven of Cups would be the same, so multiple. I think I'd word this as you picked up on Sebastian with potential like support from others. So you may have gotten stuff from him in combination with bits and pieces from other energies. Oh, Three of Pentacles, teamwork. Both, I guess I'd say. Message from my spirit guides. There's some kind of imbalance that you're having the opportunity to correct here soon, but it feels like it's involving another person. So either like a friend or a romantic connection. You're having an improvement in a connection, a relationship, or a conversation so that you can correct some kind of imbalance that doesn't have anything to do with that. Inner critic. Oh, okay. So something that's happening with you and another party is going to help you reframe yourself into seeing yourself in a better light that allows you to then, feels like, make some kind of decision that you have been kind of, committing to some kind of decision that you've been considering, because you'll have restored faith in yourself as you see yourself in action. Will my son, Michael, ever fall in love and marry? I'm not getting a confirmation of marriage right now, although anything is possible. I am getting the Chariot. It feels like he's going to find someone who is an equal match for what he needs. But Two of Pentacles in reverse, I feel like there's a struggle to commit. So I do see him finding a partner, but I'm not getting a confirmation on marriage right now. Oh, I lost my place when I'm... What is my karma with Allie? What is my karma with Allie? One of you are helping to nurture the other or helping the other through a rebirth. But it feels like there's an imbalanced dynamic between the two of you. So one of you is the one who needs all the support, and the other one is the one who's not really in the position to be that, but steps into the role of support, likely because the other person doesn't have anyone else that could help in that way. Yeah, secrets being revealed so that there can be healing. This feels like a past life connection in which one of you had to hurt the other to help complete like a major life lesson. And now it's like supporting to help heal from that. Even though it may be some kind of inconvenience or like big ask. Song from my dad. Over the Rainbow by Israel, comma, yeah, I'm not even going to try to say that. Over the rainbow. Over the rainbow. I am so much better now, and it was my time to go. Will my sister be successful in finding a job in her career path? I would say yes. I almost want to word this as she ends up finding a job that doesn't end up being what she wants, even though it's maybe what she needs. So there may be like a toxic boss or like a bad work environment or like misrepresented responsibilities or something like that. So it feels like she finds something that feels right for a little bit and then isn't right, and then it leads to something better. It's like I'm dealing with something in private that I want to break away from, even though externally it looks like what I want it. So it for example, it could be getting a good first job, having a bad boss, but you know, maybe like not necessarily a boss that's bad to her, but just that makes the work environment toxic. Anyway, it's like I break away from that and then I end up finding something better. So yes, but there's a little bit of a hurdle. Should I contact John B from New Jersey? John B, you. I feel like John B is going to tell you what you want to hear, even if it may not be the truth. I feel like no, I don't think you should. I feel like you're better off not doing that. Almost like it would trigger you in some way or take you back in some way, somewhere that you don't need to go back to. I think I was reading too deeply into your reading on how to reconnect to the witchy side of me. Can you clarify? Yes. How to reconnect to the witchy side of me. This to me reads like shadow work. Shadow work releases you. It's like this would be the opposite of the light side. So I'm going down the steps into the depths of my own shadows. Four of Swords in reverse, that reignites me. And then Page of Pentacles what I want to happen naturally manifests from doing that. So I would say facing the shadows, that really jumped out. Rejection wounds. This could also, I guess, kind of be perfectionism, or like fearing it not, like I want this to happen, and I subconsciously fear that even if I put effort and energy into this, it won't happen that way. And it feels like that's stemming from that shadow wound. Psychic attacks as well. So facing your shadow wounds with the expectation of addressing fear of failure and the triggering energy that the shadows can bring. So like not being afraid of the emotions that come with being triggered by your shadow wounds. Because it feels like the shadow wounds being released is what releases you to reconnect with that side of yourself naturally. Are there any messages of hope for me from my spirit guides? That jumped out right away. That's community and celebration. So I would say they are guiding you to be hopeful, even if you can't see it yet, with the Magician in reverse, Hanged Man in reverse. It's a release that's happening. Queen of Wands in reverse, behind the scenes. Nine of Swords in reverse makes me feel, in this case, like taking care of the little things so that the big things can start to fall into place. So the way that you're spending your energy, your time, your focus, making sure that your routine, your self-care, like really starting to pour into those things, it feels like is the first step here to start to feel like yourself again, or to at least recognize where you're really not feeling like yourself. Yeah, offering yourself the love to reignite your passion. So pouring into yourself self-love wise, and also finding something to dedicate yourself to that's outside of yourself. So like learning something new, picking up a new habit or hobby, something to that effect. Will I ever get to grips with technology? Do I need to take a class? I would say not necessarily a class. This would be in the privacy of your own home, or not having to dedicate yourself to that, but still finding a way to not have to continue the cycle. So I would say you could probably get away with looking up different YouTube type classes and doing it on your own. I don't think you need to sign up and go to a class. Will Adrian and Mika get back together down the road? I feel like they end up going separate ways. They may try and reconnect, but it feels like they're not on the same level of what they want from a partner. We have the Knight and the Queen of Wands. Those are two different like age brackets here. And we have Six of Cups, so being stuck in the past. The Devil is reversed. So I don't want to complete a toxic cycle. Two of Wands can be going separate ways. And then lack of commitment. I don't think that they stay together, even if they do temporarily reconnect. Now, where am I? Message for Kate. A need to pour into yourself spiritually, almost like there's something your higher self wants to pour out through you, but the straw is clogged. So channeled writing, channeled drawing, art, creativity, a need to put a cog in the wheel to stop spinning a cycle that's not serving you. Oh, that's the cycle. Needing to complete this cycle, to trust yourself to complete the cycle. So a need to really, a need to reignite your spiritual side by either maybe starting like a routine 5-10 minute meditation every day or every other day, or as I said, like channeled writing, channeled drawing, art, something like that, needing to pour into your creative side, or your spiritual side rather. I don't know why I said creative side. Maybe your creative side is what unlocks it. One second, let me see if my son's teacher said anything else. Okay. My grandson has been acting out. It has been increasingly frequent and intense. What can we do? I pulled Anna grandmother card last night too. Oh, okay. That's what I got in the beginning. I almost want to word this as like looking at the underlying cause of this. It feels like you've done everything that you can do to treat the symptoms of why this is occurring, like the manifested symptoms of what is actually a deeper imbalance or something to that effect. It could be like something in diet and nutrition that's like, I'm almost seeing the example of like an allergy test, you know, when they give you a bunch of different needles to test if something that you're ingesting or eating is bothering you. If that's the reference I'm getting. So I don't know if that's literal, but I feel like it's getting more frequent and more intense because it's a buildup of something that's almost like if like stuff going through a pipe was slowly clogging the pipe type effect, not literally like that, but like behavior wise. A feeling of internal agitation, like an environmental factor agitating him, if that makes sense. So it could be like really bad allergies that are almost like an itch that can't be scratched internally is the feeling I'm getting that's causing the acting out. So needing to get a deeper look at what could be the root cause that could have been increasing as the symptoms increase. So if it's been increasing since spring, we could look at like the allergy effect of something. If not, then I would say geared more towards like diet area. Like it could be, for example, like gluten intolerance or something like that that's not showing up as other symptoms, but it's just affecting behavior, for example. That's what I'm getting. It's like needing to think of it out of the box, because I feel like everything that you have tried, if it was going to work, it would have worked. Like you've checked all the boxes, if that makes sense. Is my sister-in-law as manipulative and evil as I think she is? It feels more like Not that this couldn't manifest in ways that would seem manipulative or evil, but it feels like a very wounded, unheard inner child that acts out anytime the inner child perceives itself to feel unheard, not valued, suffocated. I don't know why I want to use that word suffocated. A very confused and unheard, discarded inner child that's acting out in ways that would likely seem manipulative and evil, but are really coming from feeling disconnected from, almost like the inner child feels lost at sea and no one came to rescue it, type of thing. But it wouldn't be uncommon for that to show up in ways that would seem manipulative and evil, because the inner child is throwing a temper tantrum trying to protect itself. I have upcoming lab work. Will everything be good? There may be something that's either high or low or imbalanced, but it feels like whatever it is, there'll be a solution. Like it would just be like, okay, change this, like not something that is indicating a problem, but something that's indicating a change that's needed, if that makes sense. So there may be something that pops up, but there's a solution for it. Will selenium and Q10 improve my health? Not in the way or as much as you hope. How do I word this? That in combination with something else will improve it a significant amount. But it feels like that on its own isn't getting, almost like if you're trying to start something and it's just shy of like kicking over, like a lawnmower. Like if you don't fully start the lawnmower, it doesn't start, it doesn't kick over, type of thing. If that's the feeling I'm getting, like that isn't enough on its own to get the improvements that you would hope to get from it, but it could work if something else was added into it. And I don't know what that something else would be, but it feels like if you could figure out what that something else would be that would work in combination with that, it feels like it'd be worth it doing. A message or a song? There's someone around you that you recently influenced more than you recognize. This is like a leading by example thing. You were someone's guardian angel very recently, and I don't think you recognize how much that impacted that person. This is like kind of like you saved me without realizing it energy. Magician in reverse, you're not seeing your own magic. Something you said to someone recently, like, saved them. People will criticize your message, then repackage and sell it. Keep an active ear and be mindful of snakes in the grass. People will criticize your message. And the person that you said this to, they might not have even responded in a way that you felt like what you said made an impact, but it did. It helped them heal from something that someone else did to them because of your specific perspective on the situation. Iris by Grace Davies. Any positive message for the near future? Chamber of the Violet Flame, karmic release and radical transformation. Page of Pentacles, that's what's manifesting. Manifesting for you is a karmic release and radical transformation. The Fool and death and rebirth. That is a positive message. You're taking a leap of faith on yourself towards some kind of change. This is like I cut a cord with a past version of myself, like a perspective of a past version that wasn't serving me. And it shows me which way to head next. And purple would be crown chakra. So it feels like you're going to start getting downloads soon that let you know where to be investing your energy because you healed from some kind of karmic connection. Feelings about my son, Nathan. It feels like Nathan wants to come forward and have a conversation or get support and just isn't sure how. This is like, I need support for whatever this is. I want to come public about what I'm currently thinking about privately. I'm currently in the not revealing what I'm thinking, but I do want support. I would say right now to just let him know that you're holding space for him without directly trying to like coax a conversation out. I guess I'd say like he needs right now to have some kind of example to follow of how to communicate when needing support. Will I need another cortisone injection in ankle? I would say yes. This would be the one eventually running out, creating some kind of imbalance and needing to like re-up in order to restore the balance again. Yeah, to feel like yourself again. I would say yes. Do I have an underlying health concern that I am not yet aware of? Message that hasn't yet been received, something that you're not necessarily going to want to hear, but you can overcome. Magician in reverse. Learning about a solution. Underlying health concern that I'm not yet aware of. I don't know if I would word it like that. I would word it as there's something that you could be doing preventative care wise that would be helpful. Like taking better care of blank. But I don't necessarily think there's an underlying health condition. Unless there's something you're specifically already worried about, then I feel like you're onto something and should get that checked. But if there's not something specific that you've been over and over thinking about, then I read this as preventative care could be helpful in the area that you feel like there's some concern about potentially already, if it's not like a specific concern. So like either gut health or mobility or something like that. So more of like preventative care is how I'd say that. I sometimes prefer sleep because of my dreams. I occasionally control them. Can you tell me anything about them? It feels like the focus of your dreams is essentially to reframe the way that you are able to see yourself in the context of community. So healing the pieces of wounds of the past that make you feel not all the way ready to step into, feels like with Five of Cups in reverse, like a healer role or a leader role or a leading by example role, role model role. Yeah, the Emperor, role model role. So it could be different scenes or different even memories playing out, helping to reframe the way that you see yourself because you're in the observer mode of yourself during the dreams. So it's helping you to reframe what makes you feel unready for the role that you're stepping forward into. Will the truth come out? I want to word this as it feels like, would this be a situation where people would stop looking for the truth or would kind of move past it? It feels like justice is reversed, the tower's reversed. I'm leaning more towards no, or if it does come out, people not believing it. But it feels like things just end up going past it. Message from my dad. I don't know why I want to say this, but you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. So not every thought that you have is because it energetically aligns with you. Some thoughts we have so that you can say, that's not for me. Feels like there's the energy of being very hard on yourself right now that he wants you to release. I will always point you in the right direction and look up to the sky and see the shapes of the clouds. Clouds, sending something up to the cloud. Be careful of your thoughts. There's a need to focus on clearing your internal dialogue so that you're not working against yourself, because it feels like it's draining you to do that. Will I come into money and move overseas? I feel like if you're asking about an inheritance that would allow you to do that, I'm not seeing it being an inheritance. But I am seeing you making an improvement that would potentially allow you to have that option. But I feel like it's some time away. I feel like if you're wondering if it's going to be some kind of quick fix, I don't think it's going to be that. But I do see the potential for that eventually happening. But again, it feels like it's going to be some time away. Trying to see if there's anyone I didn't get to yet. Is my intuition right about the family secret about me? Trying to control the narrative about you without you knowing that the narrative is being controlled about you. Yeah, your intuition is right. I almost want to word this as trying to either make it look like you're unstable or lazy or unmotivated or something to that effect, like that being the reason for this, the family secret, or the reason, if not the reason for the secret, then the reason for why the secret is being spread, to try and make it look like you're incapable, I guess I'd say. The Tower in reverse. Trying to make it so that people that know about it wouldn't tell you because they would feel like there's a reason that would be negatively affected if you knew. Like, does that make sense how I said that? What is being said about it is so that whoever knew about it previously doesn't tell you about it, if that makes sense. What should I focus on this week? I kind of want to word this as one step at a time, not expecting yourself to have everything all. With this, I'm getting organization is a focus, but I'm getting organization and not expecting yourself to start and have it completed in one sitting. This is like, I'm starting to move all the pieces around and see what works for me, see what feels good for me. Taking it one step at a time, because you're heading towards some kind of victory here where as your external environment organizes, it helps you also organize either the internal thought cars or emotions, whatever it is. It's like internally and externally, the organization is rebalancing. So organization, I guess I'd say. Did T ever SA my children? If so, any details? I would say a line looks to be crossed with one child. Walls come down. I would say that there's some kind of line crossed or inappropriate nature of behavior with one specifically, but it could be just things being said that were inappropriate. I'm not getting a clear if it was SA or if it was just crossing the line verbally. But I would say it's someone who can't be trusted. Will I need surgery on my spine? If there's a more invasive and a less invasive option, I feel like you can get away with the less invasive option. Now, I don't know if that's two different variations of surgery or if that's a surgery and like a, I don't know what else. I almost want to word it as it's the lesser of the two evils when it comes to what options you end up having. You're going to have to get something done, but it's not going to be the more invasive or more time consuming option. Do you have a message from my dad or my other past loved ones that would help me with moving forward with looking for the foul play of my dad's death? Accomplice, partner, boat, power supply, kidnapped. Somebody knows something, but their hands are tied. This is like somebody has guilty knowledge. Somebody that's not the person who's has their hands dirty, like someone that's not the one who did something, has knowledge that they're not coming forward with. Why? Yes. Okay, that was pretty direct. All right. So somebody that's not the person that did something has knowledge that they're not coming forward with. Yes. Why are they not coming forward? Private property in reverse. It's not my place to tell. Healing in reverse. They don't have proof of what they know. Oh, evil. Okay. So they don't have proof of what they know, but they know something. They're not giving over the key. Trying to buy time. It feels like somebody knows something and is in some way being silent so somebody else can buy time. Almost like if person B was saying to person A, okay, if you don't do something by this time, then I'm going to come forward with what I know, type of thing. Like there's some kind of ultimatum. Yeah, neighborhood in reverse. Come forward with what I know. It feels like somebody's under some kind of ultimatum right now because they know something and someone else is trying to get them to not come forward with it. Word from your dad to confirm. I am just a thought away. What does E know that I don't want him to know? It's like something involving another person. Something another person either wanted or said. Something that the other person, something that I guess, what does E know that I don't want him to know? Something that E would not have seen coming, that another person said or expected. Yeah, that you didn't want him to know. Involving what a third party either knew, said, or expected. Not third party as in like third party, just another person besides the two of you. Thank you to all my mods for being here as well. I'm going to stay on about 20 more minutes. Let's make sure my son's teacher. I'm going to see if there's anyone I didn't get. Do you see international travel next week for me? Fingers are crossed that money will come in on time. I'm wondering if the money doesn't come in on time, is there still a way for you to do it? If the money's going to come in like after you get back or something? Like, do you need the money to be able to go? Because if you need the money to be able to go, I feel like there may be a delay in that. But if you don't need the money to be able to go and you can just be reimbursed afterwards, then I feel like it'll happen, if that makes sense. I feel like there's a delay in that money. I feel like there's a delay in the money. So if you don't need it to go, but you can wait to be reimbursed and get it after you get back, I feel like then it'll be able to happen. If not, I feel like expect some kind of delay. Or maybe getting it very last minute, but I feel like it's more likely delay. Oh, baby Edit is here. Congratulations. That's awesome. Do I have a spirit guide and a message from my mom? It's funny because I was about to say your mom's a big fan of yours, and then I got death and rebirth. It's like, yeah, I'm not gone. There's a need to be patient with yourself right now so that you can start to see yourself as worthy as she sees you. You're not giving yourself enough credit for your intelligence is what I'm hearing. Yeah, Four of Pentacles. That's the foundation on which you build everything else, and you're not giving yourself enough credit for your intelligence. Now I have no pain. Release any guilt or blame you may feel. It is not your fault. I don't speak with my dad and his wife. Toxic drama, trauma, no thanks. I distance myself for peace, but it feels like they continue drama. Well, that would be lack of completion, and that would be the drama queen, the sun, and the moon. It feels like they're polar opposites in the way that they handle anything. How do I word this? Behind closed doors, we're polar opposites when it comes to how we handle things. So when we're in front of people and we have to try and handle things, it doesn't go well because we're never on the same page behind closed doors. And it feels like she tries to make him feel foolish and likely throws a lot of mean words. I mean, maybe it's him to her, but it feels like it's her to him. One of them is a lot more patient with the other, and the other is a lot more mean. Like one's mean and the other one kind of just waits till it passes, I guess. The insight really feels like they need to be the ones to get sick of their own crap in order to change, and it doesn't feel like they're there yet. Will my Nicholas marry this year, and will they get pregnant? I would say no, not this year. Feels like there's some hesitation. I don't know if that's on the marriage or the wedding. It feels like there's still some shadows to work through, but he's facing in the right direction to work through said shadows. Not this year, I'm not seeing. How are the next few weeks looking for me and a song? Feels like you're either taking action in the opposite direction of a previous, like it didn't go right the first time, you're trying again type of thing, or you're taking action in the opposite direction of a fear. So fear of failure, fear of having a conversation with someone, something like that. You're taking action in the opposite direction. Yeah, going into the unknown here. Going into the unknown to restore the balance. Brave by Sarah Bareilles is the song. What can my guides tell me about Maurice? He's working on facing or healing or addressing the wounds that were keeping him either immature or emotionally unavailable. This is like, I'm working hard to get myself on the right track so I can be who I either claim I am, or so I can show up better for myself. Yeah, I'm healing and I'm putting down heavy burdens that were keeping me from knowing myself. The example I give of the onion, where it's like you are the core of the onion and you have to unpeel all the layers of the onion to expose the core so you can see who you are. That's what this feels like. He's working on unpeeling all the layers of the onion. Can my aunt, who I recently came in contact with after a long time, be trusted? Yes and no. There may be some exaggerations in stories or avoidance of like, I want to make myself look good for other people because I care too much about what other people think, or I need to hold up a certain persona for some reason. So I would say yes and no. If you're looking for some kind of information or something, like for example, let's say you're looking for some kind of information, it's likely she won't give you all of it, or will twist the truth to make herself not look bad or look better. So depending on what you're trying to get out of the reconnection, yes and no. There's a tendency to exaggerate or avoid certain parts of the truth. I have someone from the past call. Should I close the door? I feel like there's closure that you could get out of it before closing the door that would help, some kind of clarity that would be helpful. Almost like so that your brain doesn't question, oh, well, I could have got closure or clarity before I shut the door. Why didn't I type thing? But it's not like a necessity if you don't want to, but I feel like it would be helpful if you did. Like, I don't know if that's having a specific conversation, asking a specific question. But should you shut the door? Yes. It feels like this person's going to likely tell you what you want to hear in order to appease you until they don't feel like doing that anymore. So should you shut the door? Yes. Is there potential to get some kind of clarity or closure that allows for healing before you shut the door if you want to? Yes. But you don't have to. My mom has been gone for years, but I worry about where she ended up. Can you tell me? Mm. This to me at first could read like a tent community with the tent on it, especially because it came out with the devil here. And the Four of Swords could be like a feeling of defeat. It's also the nest energy here, which would kind of be similar to the tent energy. It feels like, I guess I'd word it as not reaching the potential of where she could. Being constantly stuck in a state of striving or in a state of survival mode is what it feels like. False starts, left in the darkness. It could be literal homelessness, or it could be maybe like a little studio type thing. It feels like unable to really get it together where I need it to, but unable to go back either. Running from herself is kind of how I would word that. Does my dad see his mom in me, and is this why he has been so mean and hard on me? Dad see his mom in me. Oh, yeah. This would be codependency. So two peas in a pod. Especially next to this would be the peas in the pod. This would be the divine connection, and this would be, I can't look past it. It causes me to treat you a certain way. I would say yes, definitely. Does Carmen have a message for his sister, Denise? He likes when she talks to him, one, and two, allowing herself to feel happiness and joy and move forward and have experiences isn't her betraying him or her leaving him behind. He gets to have those experiences with her. Yeah, Three of Cups is, it's not leaving me behind by moving forward and enjoying your life. Fully embrace your gifts as it's passed down in your family lineage, and you are never alone. So confirming the brother-sister connection and lighthouse. So like he's her guiding light. It's not that she's leaving him behind by being in a state of joy. I'm going to try and finish all these ones, and I'm going to hop off. I have transmuted my grief and inner child. Have I transmuted my grief and inner child wounds? My gifts and connections are getting stronger. I pulled the Anna card last night. That is literally transmuting grief. Like this is a release or a healing, and then this would be the ascension that comes from it. Giving and receiving. You did the work, and now you're receiving the healing. That's a big yes. Let's see what quote. The finish line is for the ego. The journey is for the soul. So yes, definitely. I'm sure that there still will be some to unpack as time goes, but it feels like what the message is that the big chunk of it that needed healing to move forward is what you've taken care of. Do I have a spirit guide and a message from my mom and a song? The way forward is through the parts of yourself that you avoid. You have all the tools to make that change that you've been considering and to have it work for you. The only way you stay stuck now is if you choose to stay stuck, because you have all the tools to unstuck yourself. I love you with all my soul's being, and pay attention to synchronicities. Stand By You by Rachel Platten is the song. Do I have sleep apnea from anxiety? I don't know if this is saying that sleep apnea isn't what you would have, or if it's saying that it's not necessarily from anxiety. I would word it as it's not what you may feel like it is. I just want to say it's more treatable or more manageable or less invasive or something to that effect than it may appear to be initially, or more solvable. Will my daughter graduate nursing school and find a good job? There's a couple different ways this could go. There could be a pivot, like her deciding to do something different. I'll say this, it ends up okay in the end, but there's some kind of either pivot or pause or intense competition of some sort, or intense battle to make it happen. It's not going to be very straightforward, it feels like. But she eventually finds a job that works for her, but it feels like it's not what she would have initially pictured herself to be doing. So it ends up okay, but with some pivots. How is the person connected to me with E? You said he knows something about me. I don't want him to know. Details, clarity. Did he move to be by me? Getting information on the other side of some kind of wall. How's the person connected to me? Someone who knows information about you that you don't know that they know. It wasn't your choice to give that to them. So that, not E, but the other person would be knowing information about you that you did not give to them. That would normally not be something that they would have. Did he move to be by you? No, I wouldn't necessarily say that's the reason he moved. It looks more like I'm moving to get away from something that I feel is chasing me, as opposed to moving towards something that I want to be towards. Is the infusion I will be receiving work? I'm nervous about it. It's helping you break ties with the past in a way that's like cutting a bungee cord. So if you've been having lower mobility, it's going to increase the mobility. If you've been having like range of motion issues, it's almost like freeing something that was tied tight before. So yes, to the effect of being broken free from something that was restrictive. Do a couple more of these and then I'm going to hop off. Are my sons spiritual guides, family members who have passed? I would say not necessarily that he doesn't have ones that are people that have passed, but it feels like there's very prevalent energy of past life connections that are with him to help with his mission in this lifetime. So not that there's not, but it feels like the lead ones or the prevalent ones are ones that are past life connections that are helping on a specific mission. I'm going to see if there's anyone I didn't get to. My husband and I have plans to purchase the property next to ours. Will that come to fruition this year? Will it come to fruition? Yes. Will it definitely be this year? I'm not confident in this year. I'm feeling like there's more of a likelihood to word it as within a year than this year. But I do see it happening. Let's move me back up. Are Dave and I going to stay together? I feel like there's an eventual break or separation. There's potential to come back together after that, but it feels like there is some moment of needing to release to figure out if there's the potential to stay together. The foundation is there so that it could be fixed at that point, but it's going to kind of be depending on if you can get back on the same page. I'm going to do 2 more. We should like make this part. Can I make this bigger? Oh, nope. Makes the whole thing. Sorry, I'm trying to see if there's any names that I know I didn't get to yet. Past life, which kind of work I had, health and healing. Enslavement, revolution, beauty. So finding the beauty in helping others to be free. What kind of work you had, some kind of revolutionary, some kind of, yeah, devil is coming out with enslavement. I said in my mind, clarify enslavement, we got devil. So you were up against some kind of forces that you were helping to free people from, whether that be like literal, physical, or just like mental enslavement, but helping to free people from the trap of some kind of dark or evil energy. All right, I'm going to do one more. Guidance from my guides. An object in motion stays in motion. An object at rest stays at rest. You're being guided to take some kind of self-motivation initiative to get things flowing in the direction of either a passion, a hobby, a connection with another person. It's like needing to get excited again so that you can restart the wheel. It's like you've healed something, or you've released something, or you've shifted the right perspective. You're ready for what comes next. You just need to reignite the spark for yourself here. Okay, everyone, I'm going to hop off. Thank you so much to everyone for being here. Thank you to my mods. I'm working on getting those emails back to you mods this week. The True Crime deck is available for pre-order. I'll be placing that order when I get the deck to proof first, because I made a bunch of changes. I think that's all. I will maybe be back on for another live at some point this week. I'm going to try and catch up on true crime readings too. Thank you to everyone for being here, and I'll talk to you soon.